Welcome to our Fridays at First podcast. I am Richard Gibbons, a member of the pastoral staff at First Presbyterian Church, downtown Greenville, here in South Carolina. Last Sunday, your Fridays at First correspondent preached at the Kirking of the Tartan services for Highland Park Presbyterian Church as they hosted our denomination's national gathering. I was delighted to bring warm greetings on your behalf to our sister church in Dallas. I also reminded them that whenever you invite a preacher from South Carolina, you can expect to hear an accent. My rich southern accent was welcomed by the congregation. I was also able to mingle at the conference with several of our elders, along with my esteemed colleagues, Don Feuerbach and Claire Ripley. Claire, as you know, is considered the grand poobah of the denomination and is referred to as Reverend Mother on formal occasions. While travelling home on Monday evening, I missed several meals and unfortunately dropped into an all-night grocery store on the way home. I am now the proud owner of Aisle 4. Our announcements for the next few weeks begin with a reminder that tonight, January the 31st, a new exhibit will be opening in the galleries here at First Pres. A reception will be held at 6 o'clock in the Sturgis Gathering area. Please come and join us as we meet with some of Asheville's artists as they share their work and resilience after the devastation of Hurricane Helene. Our next announcement this week refers to building strong marriages. Beginning on Wednesday, February 5th at 6:15 to 7:15, we will be hosting a practical, informative and biblical look at what a marriage can be. The 6-week course is designed to help couples build strong, healthy relationships with one another. No registration is required and it's open to married couples of all ages. Please come and join us. Calling on all bakers. On Friday 7th, we are privileged to be the host church for the Tim Tebow Foundation's Night to Shine. We will need dozens of nut-free cookies and brownies for our special guests. If you are a dab hand at baking and you're willing to participate, please contact Tina Jones, tjones@firstpresgreenville.org, and let her know how many you will be bringing. All goodies should be dropped off at the Children's Ministry check-in desk, that's near the nursery, by noon on Friday, February the 7th. We will also need volunteers for this event, and if you're willing to serve as a guest's buddy, be a member of the Red Carpet Paparazzi, my goodness, what more could you desire? Or to assist in any number of roles, go to firstpresgreenville.org/events to register as a volunteer. I'm also delighted this week to welcome on your behalf my colleague Michelle Ward. Michelle is chatting to Chuck and Mary Jane Clayton, and they're discussing Miracle Hill Ministries, especially their Yellow Bag project that is coming up in the next few weeks. Michelle, welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Richard, and happy Friday, everyone. I hope you are getting ready for a great weekend and maybe have something fun planned. If it involves cleaning out your closets, perhaps, I am actually here today with two people who are going to tell you where you could donate your gently used clothing and shoes and home items. I am excited to be here today with Chuck and Mary Jane Clayton, who are going to give us a little bit of information about the Yellow Bag Project. Thank you both so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Michelle. It's great to be here.
Yeah, we've got the husband and wife team that are both very involved with Miracle Hill, which is a wonderful ministry partner for us here at First Presbyterian Church. So, Chuck, I'm going to give you the mic. Tell our listeners a little bit about what the Yellow Bag Project is and who it benefits.
Okay, it's an event that we've sponsored and really held hand in hand with Miracle Hill's involvement. For 9 years, this will be our 9th year at First Pres, and we've collected over those 9 years over 30 tons of donations. And these donations go to the thrift stores, which in turn help support the operational elements of Miracle Hill. And Miracle Hill is a faith-based, Christian-based organization that really focuses on homeless ministries, children's ministries, addiction recovery for men and women. They have thrift stores throughout the Upstate and also annual events. And this is one that First Pres is, taking the lead on for the last 9 years. So look forward to everybody cleaning out their closets and donating for a worthy cause.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell us kind of how this works.
Yeah, we're going to have, starting on the 9th, we'll have stations throughout the church, and they'll be distributing yellow bags that you can take home with you and put all of your gently used clothing and accessories into the bags as far as donations. And we'll be handing those bags out at stations after each worship service on the 9th as well, or on the 9th as well as the following Sunday on the 16th. There will be bags at the church. And then you can return those collections on Sunday, February 23rd, between 8 and 12:30. We're going to have a truck on site. We'll have youth group scurrying throughout the parking lots with carts.
That's a fun morning. It really is. Well, and like you said, the bags are yellow. They look like highlighters, so you cannot miss them. And you can pick them up, too. If you forget between 2 Sundays, you can come by the church and pick them up. This really is such a great project, and I know you guys have been involved in it forever, and it is a fun Sunday on February 23rd. We may need some volunteers. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're going to kind of incorporate the youth group. They're going to be our cart crew that will be throughout the parking lots, and they'll be making collections. We've also got some volunteers through the Overcomers organization out of Miracle Hill. And then we've got a pretty good staff of collection. So really for everybody else, please just go through your closets and also spread it out through your community. So as an extra stretch goal, if you could be an ambassador within your community and maybe a collection point, get some extra bags, collect from your neighbors, and bring those in on the 23rd.
I think I've done that before. It's just taken some yellow bags to my neighbors' houses and just dropped them off and said, hey, I'll pick them up, before the 23rd, and I'll bring them back to my church. So that's a great idea. I think a lot of people are cleaning up and cleaning out. Decluttering is such a time to do it because the weather's warming up and we gotta get rid of some stuff. So, well, that's wonderful. And you mentioned the Overcomers and just some of the different programs that Miracle Hill has. And Mary Jane, I'd love for you to kind of speak to some of our other partnerships, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, thanks, Michelle. Well, in addition to the Overcomers, which is the men's 7-month residential addiction recovery program, there also is the Women's Renewal Center, which is the same type of residential program for women overcoming addiction. There are also 2 shelters. The Greenville Rescue Mission is just right down the road on Washington Street. And we also have a Jobs for Life program that was started out of First Pres, and that's done a couple times a year at the Rescue Mission. There's also Shepherd's Gate, which is the women's shelter. And there's also a foster children's care program. They also have transitional housing.
That's incredible.
And all of these programs, like Chuck said, are supported through our thrift stores and the sales from clothing in the thrift stores and furniture and other large donations that you can actually bring into the different thrift stores, and of course your own giving.
Right. There's just a lot of ways, and we have a ton of church members who are already involved in volunteering at these programs and serving. And those addiction recovery programs are really cool because they're biblically based. I mean, it's scriptural teaching and healing. Am I right?
Yes. And as a church, how we help with hands-on with some of those programs I just mentioned. Twice a year in the spring and the fall, we sponsor the men's monthly graduation, and we do that for the women as well. And for 6 months out of the year, First Pres is actually the physical location for that monthly graduation ceremony for the Overcomers. So I encourage, when we have that, which is the 3rd Thursday of each month, starting in September, come and witness a graduation and listen to the testimonies of the graduates, and they will bless you immensely.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing we do in addition to sponsoring the graduation receptions, we're trying, as our arts community is growing, our performing arts, we are inviting the residents of Renewal and Overcomers to come hear concerts and see things that they would not normally get to see. And we're really trying to grow that arts ministry as well here at First Pres.
That's right. And I was just talking to Chelsea. That's part of transforming the heart of the city through the visual and performance arts, is partnering with folks, like you said, that may not have the opportunity for that kind of exposure. So it really is such a win-win. So y'all don't forget, you can just pick up the yellow bags either on the 9th or the following Sunday and go home, clean up, clean out, bring it back on the 23rd. And not only have you just cleaned out your closets and gotten everything fresh and ready for spring, you are really helping other people in the process, which is just the biggest gift to everybody. So thanks again, Chuck and Mary Jane, for being here. And if you have anything else you want to add, let me know.
Yeah, just one thing I wanted to kind of reinforce as far as our mission statement of transforming the heart of the city. There is nothing more aligned to that effort than, our involvement with Miracle Hill, because This is our community, and anything that we can do, financially or time or talents, everybody has something that they can contribute, and I just encourage you to kind of seek out some volunteer opportunities to be the hands and the heart and the head.
Absolutely. There are backyard neighbors really downtown. And I think you can go on our website, either to firstpresgreenville.org and look up for our ministry partners. But you could also go to Miracle Hill's website, and they have an app that you can have on there that you can find out ways you can get involved. So we encourage that. Well, thanks again, you all, for joining us, and happy Friday.
Thanks, everybody.
Michelle, Chuck, and Mary Jane, thank you. We appreciate you joining us today, and we look forward to all that is in store for Miracle Hill Ministries and the Yellow Bag Project over the next couple of weeks. We now come to a new segment in our weekly podcast, and it is entitled Inquiring Minds Want to Know. In last week's podcast, I invited you to email me with any questions you may have about growing in your faith, the relevance of the Bible for today, or perhaps you have a question that has been on your mind for some time and you simply wanted to ask about it. And this week's question is, why does the Apostles' Creed say Jesus rose again from the dead? When was the other time? I've been wondering about this for some time. Thank you. And my best response is probably this. In the Apostles' Creed, the term rose again simply means that Jesus returned to life after his death, signifying a renewal of life rather than implying he had risen from the dead multiple times. The word again is used to emphasize that he was alive once more, had died, and had come back. Essentially, the emphasis is on starting a new life after his death. I hope that's helpful to you, and if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at podcast@firstpresgreenville.org. And finally, as we move towards Sunday, please give a warm welcome on Sunday morning to Troop 11 of the Scouts as they are participating in our services. Dr. Christian Moody, Scoutmaster, will be sharing in our Moment for Mission this Sunday at all services. Also on Sunday, we will hear an update on our new strategic plan. Jeff Messer and senior staff, along with elders, deacons and members of the congregation, are needing your input as they move forward and develop our plan. Jeff will outline for us exactly what he is looking for on Sunday morning. You won't want to miss this. And over the last few weeks, as so many of you know, we have been exploring a new series of Sunday morning studies entitled Flourishing. Healthy then, healthy now. Each week we have been asking ourselves what principles the early church adopted for living out their faith and what principles do we need to adopt to live out our faith in a 21st century context. Last Sunday we looked at the coming of the Holy Spirit at Pentecost, and this week we will be examining Acts chapter 2 verses 42 through 47. Please take a moment to read the passage as you prepare for Sunday. I am looking forward to exploring it with you. Meanwhile, I trust you have a great weekend, and I look forward to welcoming you on Sunday.